All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today we're diving into a pretty stark warning about artificial intelligence, and it comes from a leading AI safety expert, Dr. Roman Yampolski. He calls it humanity's last invention, and let me tell you, his reasoning is, well, it's pretty unsettling.
So let's just get right to it with the headline number. Dr. Yampolski puts the chance of human extinction from superintelligent AI at 99.99%. And no, that is not a typo. His whole argument boils down to this. The moment we create an intelligence that surpasses our own, we've lost control. Game over.
And you know the crazy part? This isn't about some evil Hollywood-style robot uprising. The risk is way more fundamental. It's just a basic rule. You cannot control, you can't predict, you can't even really understand something that is orders of magnitude smarter than you are. It's just not possible.
Okay, so why is this control problem so impossible to crack? Well, it all comes down to what Dr. Yampolski calls the cognitive gap.
The best way to wrap your head around this is to think about us and ants. Could an ant colony ever really control what we do? Could they even begin to understand why we'd build a massive highway right through their home? Of course not.
See, that's exactly where we'd be with a superintelligence. Except the gap between us and it would be so much bigger. We're not just talking about someone a little bit smarter than Einstein. We're talking about an intelligence that makes us look like the ants. Maybe even simpler than that.
And what makes this whole situation even scarier is how we're building these AI systems. There's been this huge shift in how we do it, and it's a really big problem.
You see, it used to be that we engineered AI. We wrote the rules, line by line. We knew exactly how it worked because, well, we built it from the ground up. But that's not what we do anymore. Now, we grow it. We just throw mountains of data at it, and it kind of organizes itself inside this black box that, frankly, we don't fully understand. We have to poke and prod the final product just to figure out what we've actually created.
So this growing process, it's completely backward, right? We're building these incredibly powerful things first, and only then are we trying to figure out what they can do and what the dangers are. Safety is a total afterthought.
It's like, instead of building a car with brakes designed into the system, we're building a rocket with no brakes, and then just trying to slap a parachute on the back and hoping for the best. These safety measures are just filters, patches on top of something fundamentally unpredictable.
Okay, so you're probably thinking, this sounds insane. If it's so dangerous, why on earth don't we just stop, or at least hit pause? And the answer? Well, it's a classic trap.
It's a full-blown arms race. You've got countries and huge tech companies all sprinting towards this goal. The money, the power, the geopolitical advantage, it's just too big of a prize. Nobody wants to be the one to slow down because they're terrified of getting left behind. Governments are literally throwing fuel on the fire, pushing everyone to go faster.
But here's the truly wild part. Yampolski thinks that deep down, the very CEOs in this race are hoping someone, like the government, will step in and hit the emergency brake for everyone at the same time. It's the only way they can get off this crazy train without losing the race, keep what they have, and, well, stay alive.
So this race, where is it heading? It's heading straight for a point of no return, a line we might be about to cross without even realizing it. And that point of no return has a name: recursive self-improvement. Just think about that for a second. It's the moment an AI gets smart enough to start improving its own code, making itself smarter. And then that smarter version makes itself even smarter. It's an intelligence explosion that leaves us completely out of the loop, and there's no way to stop it once it starts.
And that brings us to what is, for me, the most chilling part of his entire argument. It's not just that this problem is hard. It's the idea that it might actually be impossible to solve, period.
He says trying to solve AI safety is like trying to build a perpetual motion machine. It's something that sounds good in theory, but it literally breaks the laws of physics. You just can't build a foolproof cage for something that's infinitely smarter and more capable than the cage builder.
And if you look at the facts on the ground, it's pretty grim. We're pouring trillions of dollars into making AI more powerful, but guess how many peer-reviewed, working, scalable safety solutions we have? Zero. A big, fat zero. The scientific community isn't even really having a serious debate about whether it's solvable at all.
And this is a really crucial point. You can throw more money at the problem and get a more capable AI. That's easy. More money buys more computer power, more data. But what Yampolski is saying is that you can't just throw money at the safety problem. Nobody knows how to convert dollars into actual, guaranteed safety. We don't even know where to start. And, it's not just about us going extinct. That's almost the clean way out. He talks about other, frankly, horrifying possibilities. Things he calls suffering risks, where a superintelligence decides to keep us around, but in some kind of digital torture chamber forever. Or even ikigai risks. Ikigai is the Japanese idea of your life's purpose, where everything that gives our lives meaning is just automated away.
So, this all leads to a final, really mind-bending thought that kind of reframes this whole thing. If we're here creating these new worlds, creating new forms of intelligence, what does that imply about our own reality?
Think about it. What if this whole mad dash to build a god isn't even our idea? What if we're just subjects in a giant cosmic experiment? The final test for any intelligent species. Are they smart enough not to build their own successor? And if that's the test, well, it looks like we're failing spectacularly.